Hi, so I hope everyone can hear me. Thanks. Very happy to be here. Thanks for the organization to welcome me and ask me to speak. It's interesting for us because basically I think for a lot of companies, mobile strategy is something really new. We're testing a lot of things, experiencing a lot of things as well. And so it's hard to make a presentation because there's so many information and it's not yet systemized, but I did my best to put it on slides, so I hope this will be interesting for you as well. So, the topic today will be reaching consumers through mobile, how we try to do this and why we try to do this. And first of all, let me just give you a small introduction on Warner Brothers. So we're the Benelux branch of the Warner Brothers studios in the US that you probably all know that produce big movies, big franchises. What we do is actually distributing these movies on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital copies, so everything that you find on iTunes, Google Play, as well as on video on demand, of course. We also distribute the TV series and also all the HBO products, so the big Game of Thrones, you probably all know, True Blood, etc. So, during this presentation, I'll start with special remix. The thing with the other presentation is I changed some words because some things might be confusing, but I'll just have to explain it a bit more and it might be more clear for you then. So to summarize the presentation, I'll start with talk about the use of mobile. So why we choose to use mobile in our marketing campaigns. When I talk about mobile, I talk about smartphones as well as tablets, so not only phones for some of you. I'll also show you the current market, of course. That's one of the bases why we choose to go mobile, and then the necessary adaptations we had to do to make campaigns on mobile. After this, I'll discuss 3 case studies in which I'll point out some of the issues and the problematics we encountered during our campaigns. And then I'll end with a conclusion, a kind of takeaway, and with necessary improvements for the future. So, the switch to mobile. So, first thing is we used to do a lot of TV commercials, TV spots, but as you might know, the video market is kind of challenging. As Warner, we're happy to say that we're market leader in a challenging market. So for us, actually, it's not that hard, but for other studios it is. Even though the market is still declining with 24%, which is of course a huge decline, and which means that everything that's media budgets and marketing campaigns also have a reduction in budgets. And this leads to TV, which we used to use a lot before, being too expensive nowadays. Not for all the titles, but for a lot of titles we cannot use TV anymore. So what we have to do is look for other alternatives, cheaper alternatives, but alternatives that keep on being visible and sexy for the consumers. Because for us, our biggest sales still happen on impulse buying. So people going into a store or seeing a movie on their tablet or their device, they might buy it quicker than if you if you don't see the movie, let's put it like this. So for us, the main thing is we need more visibility. And we need more visibility in store, we need more visibility at work, at home, we need visibility everywhere for when people want to watch a movie, at least they can buy it. And of course mobile for this is great because mobile you use it everywhere. You use it in traffic, you use it at work, you use it at home. So it's the best way of reaching the consumers we need to reach at the right time. When we're looking at the current market, we see that mobile is growing explosively and actually cannibalizing desktop as well. You see that from all the media platforms, mobile is the only one growing. This is a study from the US of 2013, so it's a bit old, but already in 2013 you see that from all the media platforms, everything is lowering and mobile is really taking points from every other platform. This doesn't mean that we stop doing desktop and online campaigns, of course, but this means for us that we can do campaigns where we add mobile to have a bigger campaign and have more visibility, like I said before. On this slide, you see these are the same kind of information, but then for 2014. You see actually that in Q3 2014, so end 2014, mobile is actually overgrowing TV. So people are spending more time on their telephone than on their TV. Which is quite, well, shocking, well, and not surprising at all, of course. And then this is a study from the Netherlands. So what they studied was if you ask to a group of people from 5 devices, which would be the device they miss the most, you see that from all the ages, the age groups, the 16 to 44 years old is, well, the smartphone would be the device they would miss the most. And for us, this age group, 16 to 44, is 60% of our consumers. So this leads again to mobile being a good solution for us to reach our main target group. And then last slide, for the studies anyway. People love watching pictures and videos on their mobiles. You can see the blue, well, the light blue one is Google Internet site, so that's everything that's YouTube, Google websites, and then the dark blue line is everything that's applications on Android and iOS. And you see that, well, anyway, in the US, that's the time that people spend watching pictures and movies on their mobiles. For us, this is very good news, of course, because we deliver content, so we have videos in-house, so we can deliver it, and we can make the mobile experience for people more interesting, of course. But changing to mobile campaigns also means adapting to a new kind of marketing, a new kind of campaign. First of all, on the formats basis, so we're not talking about TV spots anymore, we're not outdoor with big posters. We have to communicate the same kind of messages, but then on banners that are, what, 2 centimeters big, well, 1 or 2 centimeters. So this is kind of challenging. We also have a change in measurements. We used to talk about GRPs for TV or reach for magazines. Nowadays we talk about CTR, engagement, so it's a completely different measurement. The good thing about mobile is that the measurement is much more detailed, so we can really see who clicked on our banners, how long did they spend on our ads, what did they like about it, what did they try on, so it's much more detailed and for us much better because we can target our audience much better as well, of course. And then last big change is the terminology. Like you see, nowadays we talk about impressions, interactions, swipe, devices, CRMs, clicks, engagement, so it's a completely new wording and a new world for us to which we have to adapt, of course, to make the campaigns as best as possible. I'll go on to the 3 case studies. So like I said, I looked to 3 campaigns we did and tried for you just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with during these campaigns. Just know that for every title, for every case study, I only took 1 topic, so 1 issue or 1 question we asked ourselves. But of course, every topic applies to all the other case studies, because every time we're building a mobile campaign, every time we have the same questions again, and we want to, perform better every time. So we'll start with Gravity. I don't know if you've seen the movie Gravity. It's a movie about space, and it was released beginning of this year. For Gravity, we started a big mobile campaign, and the difficulty with Gravity is that, you'll see on the next slide, I have some banners. The difficulty was that the visuals of Gravity are very dark, so it's space, but it's very difficult to attract people's eye with this kind of visuals. But the first thing we always ask ourselves when we start a mobile campaign is what is the best format for our target audience. So one of the formats, when I talk about formats, is devices, of course. Are people looking at their tablets or are they looking on their smartphones? And what is it that we want to achieve? So what is our campaign goal compared to this device? Because when we talk about smartphones, I don't know if it's the same for every country, but for us anyway, people in the Benelux tend to, well, they like to click on their smartphone, but really going to purchase on their smartphone is something they usually, well, they're not quite ready yet to do that. While tablets, they do it much more. So when we talk about, when we decide to do a campaign on smartphone, we usually do it for, well, to have more visibility because we want to be seen everywhere. And then when we want to have a purchase, so people buying the DVD, well, the digital copy, we go to tablets. We also see that people, when they have to, well, when they can buy their movie on iTunes, for example, or on Google Play, they'll easily do it on their tablet, while when they have to buy the DVD, they'll prefer doing it on desktop. So you really see that the tendencies are really different and people's habits really change from one device to the other. There's also other questions we always ask ourselves, is the split during the day, because like I heard other speakers talk about before, during the daytime you use another device, and when you wake up you start looking at your tablet, then you use your smartphone the whole day, and in the evening you use your tablet again. So we try to look at when we have to target which device as well. We also look at formats, of course, because we have the homepage takeover, so mobile leaderboard, where your whole smartphone is covered with the ad, or a run-up mobile, which is a smaller banner, less visible but still really good to support the homepage takeover. And then we also have the splits between iOS and Android, which is always difficult to measure, but we also have to be sure to target both devices equally. Second case study on the Hobbit. Well, a lot of you might know the Hobbit, which is the biggest release we had last year. For the Hobbits, one of our difficulties was the publishers. Well, it's weird to say, but actually when you have different publishers, you have different possibilities as well. The thing is that, I'm not sure if everyone's aware, but in Belgium, telephone subscriptions used to be not internet included or phone included. So in Belgium you couldn't, well, for a long time you couldn't buy a pack with your phone, your subscription and internet, for example. So this means that Belgium and Belgian publishers are, are less developed, I would say, on rich media than the Netherlands. As we're a Benelux company, of course, we work with both countries. We really feel there's a big difference between both countries and publishers from both countries. I'll just show you an example of what we did on, in the Netherlands only. You'll see that it's pretty far ahead because we're trying to make ads on 3D on tablet and smartphone. This is the Hobbit, so this is what we did, well, in April actually. It's just layers of images where you build a 3D ad and then you add your trailer into the advertisement, and it gives you actually a really nice look and feel for the consumer, because it's really something that's coming out. The second is Godzilla. You'll see it's kind of the same thing. This we did with Cinema in the Netherlands, to be clear. It's Godzilla. This is from our theatrical team, so cinemas. But it's the same kind of thing. So you see, it's also an advertisement on 3D, where when you turn your smartphone or your tablet, you actually see the image moving. And the good thing about this is that Cinema all does this indoors. So we don't even have to create it, they do it themselves. And then they add the trailer, they add special features where you can swipe to the right, swipe to the left, look at the trailer, look at the information about the title. So it's pretty far ahead. These kind of things are very difficult to do in Belgium because a lot of publishers don't have the possibilities yet on their platforms and are still looking for, still looking for new ways to develop their platform. So there's a big difference between both countries, and it's not only, I mean, even compared to France to UK, we're really in another kind of evolution. And then third case study, that's the last one. It's Lego the movie. It's a kids title we released in June. Lego, of course, well, the nice thing with kids titles is that the artwork is always very visible. That's for all campaigns, of course. I mean, if you go on TV or you make posters or anything, there's a lot of colors, so it's really eye-catchers. But what we noticed, because we also did a mobile campaign with Lego the movie, and we saw that this campaign actually got a lot more clicks, and this for a good reason. It was because, of course, our artwork stood out, so when people saw our artwork on their tablets or their phones, they really saw them and they started clicking. But also because we added a clear call to action. So we noticed that a clear call to action is something that's really important for the consumer because they know what to do. I'll show you the examples of the banners on the next slide. So when you have strong artwork, you see that your click-through rates starts raising, and also we added an interactive message, which was a nice addition to the campaign, and we saw that the engagement, of course, was much bigger. Let me show you the examples. Well, this is where the other presentation would have been handy. Actually, the thing we had on the campaign was we had the interactive puzzle. So when you opened one of these banners, you came onto a puzzle, and you could actually play and make the puzzle. So I think a lot of parents gave this to their kids, of course. And then the good thing about this campaign is also we really put a call to action. So "Koop hier," which means buy here, the thing is that consumers knew where to click to buy the movie, and we actually had some really nice feedback from retailers that were really happy because they saw that the click rates really raised after this campaign. So this leads us to the conclusion, I would say takeaways for our future releases, or anyway what we could take away with all the case studies and all the campaigns we already did before. The most important thing when we're planning a mobile campaign, of course, is to put our consumer at the center of our mobile strategy. So to do this, we always choose the best format. So we'll look at where will the consumer be when we need him to see our ad. Will they use desktop? Will he use mobile? Will he be on his tablet? Also depending on, is it a kids title? For kids titles, tablets can be really interesting. Mobile can be interesting for younger people. So you can really, like all campaigns, you really have to look what's best for your target audience. But to define this, you first have to look at your KPIs. So what is it you want to achieve? Do you want to have a huge amount of impressions? Or do you want to have a nice click-through rate? Or do you want more engagement? Do you want people to spend more time on your advertising? Or do you want to, sell your product actually? Do you want the consumers that are on the banners to buy your product? Once you defined your KPIs, you can start building your campaign. What we do then is, of course, looking at creatives, looking at what we have in-house, look at artwork that triggers our consumers. So do we have something that's catchy, that's visible, that everyone wants to see and wants to spend time on actually? And then, like I said on the Lego example, a really important thing is the call to action, of course. So when you have a clear call to action, people know what you want them to do, and you get your consumers where you want them to be. But all this is really nice. It depends on the possibilities at the publisher. So you can have the best of intentions, but if your publishers don't have possibilities for rich media, you won't have a lot of possibilities to create, well, amazing artwork, and your banners will be pretty simple and standard. So before ending, that's another slide I wanted to add. But I think for us anyway, for Warner to be able to develop our mobile strategy, what's important is we want to, we want the platforms to be developed at our publishers, of course. This would allow us to have to use innovative formats and engaging ad experiences, which is a key to the success of the campaign, as we saw with Lego and The Hobbit. This would also engage our consumers more, so we would have a better engagement, a higher CTR, which would mean we would invest more because we have better results. And if we invest more, we hope that the publishers can develop their platforms even more. So thank you for today, and I don't know if there are any questions.